Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and today I'm taking a look at the MBRP Armor Light High Clearance Turn Down Catback Exhaust fitting 2004 and newer 4Runners with the 4-liter V6. If you're looking to add a little bit of spice to your 4Runner while keeping your truck's off-road prowess intact, then MBRP has got your solution right here. This turn-down catback gets you the extra sound that you want without blowing out the budget. And while this is a catback system, it is also MBRP's street profile, meaning that it's not going to be too obtrusive or loud, but it's still going to sound great. Speaking of which, we're going to give this one a soft 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter, so it's going to be a great pick for a daily driven truck. Toyota's venerable 4-liter V6 is a true workhorse. It just keeps on going. However, I don't think that anybody is ever going to say that it sounds particularly good right out of the box. Even some other aftermarket exhausts just make that engine sound really raspy and frankly unpleasant, but that is not at all the case here. As you heard from the clips at the beginning of the video, this exhaust note is much better. It's smooth, it's got a nice rumbly sound to it, and it doesn't scream at the top end of the rev range either. It's pleasant without being too quiet, but also loud enough to make people take notice, and I think it strikes a really nice balance. Same can be said for inside the cabin as well. Again, as you heard from the clips at the start of the video, you are going to notice this one more than you would your stock system, but it's still going to be a nice underlying tone, though not something that's going to make you dread a long drive. Now this is a full catback system, so your factory cats are maintained and your muffler and resonator get replaced with this canister style muffler. Now, you can hear you've got some good resonance through it too, and it is pretty much straight through with some baffling in there too. MBRP's exhausts usually just sound nice, and such is the case here. Now the other big thing to talk about here is the location of the exhaust exit. Now this is a turn down, and as such, this is going to offer you more space at the rear end of your truck. Now, whereas that stock exhaust hangs down, you've got the muffler even below the bumper line in some cases, this is going to tuck up right underneath it. It makes it a perfect choice if you're doing any kind of off-roading, since this is going to make for a better departure angle for you. Now, obviously, that means you forego a traditional tip. You've just got this little slash cut right here, and again, you're really not going to see much of this once it's on the truck. However, if you value functionality, this is going to be the ticket for you. Now, construction here is all 2.5-inch mandrel bent aluminized steel. Now, aluminized steel is going to be best suited to a drier climate or a vehicle that doesn't see a lot of moisture, as it doesn't provide the same level of protection as, say, a T304 stainless system or even one made of T409. But you also aren't paying the price of a T304 or even a T409 system either. Speaking of which, this entire system is only going to run you about $400, which is really inexpensive for an exhaust, even for these trucks. Now again, you're not getting the highest quality material, but it is well put together, the welds look nice on everything, and it sounds really good. You're not shelling out a lot of money, so if it suits what you're looking for and you like that sound, I really don't think you can argue with that price. Installation gets a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and you can plan on this taking you about 2 hours to complete. Now, like any exhaust, getting the old one off and getting the new one in can be a bit of a process, so just prepare yourself. Otherwise though, this doesn't require you to make any modifications to your truck. It's going to utilize all your factory exhaust hanger locations, and you get the clamps that you need to put it all together right there in the box. No special tools needed, just what you've got in your garage. And with that, let's go ahead and jump on out to the install bay, and we'll show you what you need to do to get this on your 4Runner.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, an air gun, an exhaust hanger remover, a couple different size extensions, 14 and 15 millimeter sockets, and a swivel adapter.
What's up guys? Today we're installing an exhaust on our 4Runner, so let's get started. So our first step is to unbolt our tailpipe from our muffler pipe. We have 2 14 millimeter bolts on that flange that we need to remove, and then 1 hanger on our tailpipe to completely remove it. Now this one might be a little bit hard to see, but we're gonna have to go over our track bar and take our 14 millimeter socket to remove our bolts. Next, we can come about 1 foot behind the end of our tailpipe, and we have 1 hanger right up here. It's going to be a little hard to see, but we'll get our exhaust hanger remover and pop that out of our isolator. Now with our tailpipe free, we can wiggle it out of the way. Next, we can start working on our muffler pipe. Now we have 2 hangers towards the front by our flange that we can pop out first. So we'll grab an exhaust hanger tool to pop those isolators off. And next we can grab the one on the front side of our muffler. And then we can throw that back on to our rod. Next we can come up to our flange and remove these 2 14mm spring bolts. So we'll grab a 14mm socket to pop these out. Now we can come back behind the muffler and remove our 2 last hangers. Now it's going to be a good idea to grab a buddy to go back to the flange to hold that, because once we remove these 2 hangers, the whole piece is going to fall. So we'll grab our exhaust hanger remover tool, pop these out. And then remove our pipe. And now with our hangers removed, we can remove our muffler pipe. So our first step is to install our front pipe. We have 2 hanger rods coming off of our pipe that will get into our isolators first, and then we can get our 2 spring bolts through the flange. So now we can come back to our flange and install our 2 spring bolts. Now we're going to install 2 washers that are included in the kit on each of our spring bolts. And then we can grab a 14mm socket and extension to thread our bolts in. And then we'll do that same thing for the other one. And now once we have both of our bolts threaded in, we can take our 14mm socket to tighten these down. We're going to go back and forth so that we put equal pressure on the flange. Next we can install our muffler. So we're going to take one of our clamps and slide that over the edge, and then slide our muffler onto our front pipe, and then we can get our clamp into place and tighten that down with a 15mm socket. Next we can install our over axle pipe. So we'll grab another clamp to slide onto our muffler outlet, and then we can raise this up and then put it through our 2 isolators. And now we can come back to our clamp and slide that into place and tighten it down with our 15mm socket. Now lastly, we can install our tailpipe. So we'll grab another clamp and slide that over the edge. And then we're going to go through our hanger first, and then up into our over axle pipe. And now we can come back to our clamp and get it in place, and then tighten that down with a 15mm socket. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the MBRP Installer Series High Clearance Turn Down Catback Exhaust for your 2004 and newer 4-liter 4Runner. Thank you for watching, and for all things 4Runner, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.